I want to talk about commonality, in a way. Because each of us, we entered the world in the same way, nestled inside the womb that nurtured us. Inside of a womb, everything is perfect. We wanted for nothing. Food was given to us, water. All our needs were taken care of without our thinking. When we moved, the universe moved. As we kicked, we made waves in the universe. Then we were born. The umbilical cord was cut, severed, and we began disconnected from that sense of perfection, from that womb that nurtured us. So for the first time, we felt hunger. We felt cold. We felt what it meant to be alone. We wanted to return to that amazing feeling of oneness that we used to know. It's no wonder that we cry when we're separated from this feeling, when the cord is cut, and we awaken to the illusion that we are separate beings. So we begin a life search to return to that feeling of oneness that we felt in the womb, where we had everything, and all was given to us. Birth was the beginning of a search, a quest to be begun, a search that produces many changes in our lives, and we are the initiators of that change. As Gandhi, Dr. Martin Luther King illustrated, we can be the change we wish to see in the world. We all have this thing inside of us that makes us able to choose to stand up for what is right and what is true, to protect certain things, because by protecting those things, you are protecting yourself. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes we're seduced by the illusion of separation. We don't want to see the hero's journey that life has taken us on to become one again. We don't see how heroic we are in our lives. And what I want you to recognize is the heroic that exists inside of yourselves. To understand that every step you take around that corner, that you don't know what is there, takes bravery. When we walk through life, we recognize the hurdles that we have overcome, the fears that we have faced and conquered, the people that we have supported and helped become their better selves. We are committing small acts of heroism. Through simple acts of continuing onward and pushing through, you are heroes. We are born into this world with the journey stamped as heroes. Because the effort to overcome the pain and difficulty, the choice to move through life and search for a better life is heroic. Now, some people feel that the world is a hostile place, but you forget how brave that you are. When one thinks of how much pain a small little piece of wood, a splinter can have in your hand, or a scratch in your arm against a wall, how it stings. Or that we drive in a car that goes 70 miles an hour and at any second could be hit by another car or could crash into a wall and we could be killed in that instant. When we look at these things, we realize that we are brave beyond measure every morning when we wake up and continue living. We have to realize that we are brave, but accept that we are safe. Trust ourselves that the world will not destroy us because we will not allow it. That without thinking, every day, you do heroic things. In fact, if I were to take a picture of the crowd right now, right out here, camera, I would see some of your faces in the movements that are going to start today and the movements that are going to start tomorrow. Some of you will be well-known leaders, and others will be those individuals that we see marching in the history books. Those pictures were nameless people, but those are the everyday heroic faces that we've seen in so many portraits of the past and in our history books. Those individuals who surrendered to a purpose and allowed their intention to bring about the dream that they were fighting for. Because you can dream into reality through your actions today. Martin Luther King had a dream about a promised land. Dr. King's speech about the promised land, he contemplated having the opportunity to go back into any period of time. And I've thought about this question. Where would I go? What period and what place and time? I could go back to the beginning of time when God's breath uttered forth our existence. I could go back to the ice ages. I could sit under the Bodhi tree with Buddha. Or maybe my imagination, I could live in a cave with Muhammad when he wrote the Quran. But in his speech, Martin talked about all the places that he could be, but what he said was that he would like to be allowed a few years in the second half of the 20th century, and then he would be happy. Just a few years in the second half of the 20th century. We are now in the 21st century. We walk in that time that Martin talked about, the time when he said that he would be able to see his dreams actualized. His dreams actualized. He said in his Nobel Prize speech, "I have the audacity to believe that people everywhere can have 3 meals a day for their bodies, education and culture for their spirits. I believe that what self-centered men have torn down, men who are other-centered can build up. I still believe that one day mankind will bow before the altars of God and be crowned triumphant over war and bloodshed, and nonviolent redemptive goodwill will proclaim the rule of the land." And I realized, as I was going through all the different images of where I would like to be, that there is no point in history that I would rather be living in than right now. No moment that I would rather be a part of than this moment right now. Your moments. It could seem strange to some. So many wars, so many conflicts. Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, gangs, drug violence here, U.S., hurricanes, Haiti, earthquakes, Japan, monks being killed, tens of thousands being killed in Mexico, millions are dying in Somalia, children turned into soldiers, girls being turned into slaves. It seems that the planet itself is rejecting us. Places that were once hot are now cold. There is conflict all over the world. So it seems that the world is teetering on some form of chaos. Yet, we are uniquely connected right now. Internet and you have opened a portal for us all over the world. It has helped countries find freedom, not through its own power, but through the unique purposes that individuals like yourselves have utilized it for. The intention that those all over the world that you're seeing, individuals, those in Egypt, those on Wall Street, individuals, the everyday heroes who decided to live their lives through their purpose. Individuals who are pushing forward, moving the collective towards the right thing, towards a world where we all live by certain moral rights. An act itself can cause a vibration, which will then affect others who get to live in the same vibration. It's like a musical tuning fork. Everyone at the same level will make the sound. You're all capable of doing this. Look at what they're doing in the Arab Spring, Spain, Tokyo, and Choose your purpose. Choose your intention. You can manifest your desires. As Paulo Coelho said, be direct, be simple, be active in your intentions, in your purpose. From that thought, I ask you to define again to yourselves your intention, your purpose. I know I have an intention that many of you may share. To that end, I ask you to do one act of peace today. Call a friend you fought with. Apologize to a sibling that you wronged. Forgive someone who wronged you. Do it again tomorrow. These acts will ripple out from you to the world. Youth drive change. You are the present. You are the future. There is something heroic inside of you. That thing that is willing to fight for what is right at any cost. Look to the better angels inside of yourselves. Today we do this. Today you do this. Tomorrow he does that. Next day she does this. Together there is a movement. All because you decided to follow your purpose. Youth drive change. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you. Thank you, Pilar. Thank you, Forum.